Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to call up Hawley Amendment number 4, which is LEW 23329. You know, I welcome the discussion about ethics reform. What I notice is that this body has a habit of prescribing rules and standards for other people and then not looking to its own problems, whether it's Obamacare or initially it was you all follow these rules, something different for us, or whether it's what's happening right now, where, for instance, in the last Congress, 1 in 7 members of the House and the Senate, 1 in 7, that's a big number, violated current laws on the books, the Stock Act, by failing to report their stock trades properly. 97 members of Congress, House and Senate, or their spouses or dependents, traded on companies that were directly affected by the committees they sit on. More than 1 in 5 of senior federal officials in the executive branch currently hold stock in companies that they were supposed to be regulating. And there has been a series of reports in the press recently about the Department of Energy in particular, where a huge number, I think it's 2/3 or more, members can look to make sure that I'm getting the statistics right, a huge number of senior officials in the Department of Energy currently own stock and trade actively in stock on companies that DOE has direct oversight of. That includes the Secretary of Energy, who represented to Congress under oath that she had no individual stock. It turns out she did have stock. She was trading that stock. It included companies that DOE has direct oversight of. Now,
Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Republican Senator Josh Hawley are teaming up to ban stock trading at the highest levels of the federal government.
Members of Congress and senior executive branch officials should be serving the American people, not lining their pockets.
it is way overdue.
The bill would only allow officials and their family members to own broad-based mutual funds.
Senator Welch mentioned earlier that Americans are surprised at some of the ethics requirements that are or are not in place at the U.S. Supreme Court. This is one, when I talk to people at home about members of this body owning and trading an individual stock, or members of the executive branch owning and trading in stock of companies that they're supposed to be overseeing, people are shocked that it's even legal. So my proposal is a simple one. If we're going to talk about ethics reform, let's make sure we're looking at ourselves as well. So I'm proposing here to amend this provision, this bill before us, to include a ban on stock ownership and trading for members of Congress and senior executive branch officials. It's a bipartisan bill. Senator Gillibrand and I have introduced it as a standalone bill. I've converted it here to an amendment, and it would impose across-the-board ethics reform and make this uniform in the sense that we would be addressing ethical lapses that are real and pressing in our own body, in our own House, as well as the executive branch. And I ask for a roll call vote.
Hawley says lawmakers and other federal officials have early access to valuable information that might affect stock prices.
It may not technically be insider trading, but it's still an incredible advantage to get the kind of information and briefings that members of Congress get, and then be able to turn around and make millions of dollars on that.
Senator Gillibrand helped pass the 2012 Stock Act. It requires members of Congress to publicly disclose their stock holdings, but she says members are not following the rules.
An astounding 1 in 7 violated the Stock Act last Congress. It's become clear that we need to go even further and to ban them.
Illinois Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth is one of more than 24 lawmakers from the Senate and House endorsing a similar bill.
We have to set the standard for the American people so that they can have trust.
Opponents argue an outright ban could discourage middle-class Americans from seeking public office.
To tell a member that they cannot own securities, I think is a bridge too far. You're only going to have, a bunch of rich people running for Congress? Like, I'm not rich. Middle-income American.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has endorsed new trading restrictions, but has yet to bring it up for a vote.